G'day Big Lap Bible, I'm Kylie.
And I'm Adam.
And we're known on Instagram as the Worthy Wanderers. Today we're going to give you a tour of our setup that we've been using to travel around Australia.
So our caravan is a 2021 litre Xpedition 21'6" full off-road twin bunk caravan, and we're towing that with a 2020 VX Land Cruiser Chop 200 series built by Pro Touring Concepts. On the car, we also have a rooftop tinny, so we already had that and we wanted to find a way to bring that with us on our travels. We've done that and we are super excited to show you our setup today.
So to kick off our planning when we were purchasing our caravan, we decided to go to the Caravan and Camping Show in Sydney. We didn't know too much about caravans. We had owned quite a few camper trailers in our time, but the caravan was the way that we wanted to travel Australia. It was a great place to check out different companies and different features that each caravan had. We came across leader caravans. They were very helpful and very knowledgeable, and we decided to go with the leader Xpedition.
One of the reasons we went with leader was the build time. So we actually got this van built in 14 weeks. And if you're looking at caravans and you're looking at building one, you would know that most of the time frames are sort of 12 to 18 months or thereabouts. So we just got really lucky on a show deal at the Caravan and Camping Shows. There's good deals to be had there, and there's heaps of people with a wealth of knowledge. So if you're looking at buying a van, strongly recommend getting out to your local Caravan and Camping Show when it's on, asking heaps of questions. There's no dumb questions. You're going to be spending a lot of money. So best to do your research and find out what works for you. The other thing with leader was we were able to pick all of our internal and external colours. We were able to make a few changes here and there. We added additional solar, we extended the drawbar, and we got maximum payload. They're probably the three biggest changes that we made to it. But we may as well start on the inside. We're in here now, so I'll hand over to Kylie and she can give you a quick rundown of all the finishes and her choices and decisions when purchasing this van.
Welcome to our home on wheels. Something that was really important to us was being able to select the colours for our van. So we decided to go with the lighter colours up the top and the darker colours down the bottom. This also included a matte finish. We've found this matte finish to be really great with grubby fingers, and we've been able to wipe away the surfaces really well. Storage is another really big thing inside a van. So we have our clothes and things like that all along the top here, and we also came across this little hack using the bike baskets to put all of our shoes in. We have a lot of storage underneath our bed, which also includes our battery system as well. Something that I probably would change in the build next time. On my side, I've got the shelves holding all my clothes, whereas on Adam's side, there's a whole lot of what we find wasted hanging space, so that would probably be something that we would change next time. This is our kitchen space inside the caravan. During our build, we decided to go with the black matte finish. So this includes the sink and all the tapware throughout our caravan. We went with a microwave. There's also often a debate about whether or not to get an oven. I know that storage space is really important, so we decided to go with the oven, but we also use it to store a lot of things inside it as well. This is the space that we use when the kids are doing their schooling, and we all easily fit around here when we're eating inside. The kitchen space has quite a lot of storage, plenty of room to store everything that we have. Most of our pantry items go up the top, the lighter ones, and then underneath our lounge here we can fit all of our other pantry items, like the heavier items and things like that. Our caravan comes with two skylights. Originally, when we were getting the build done, we were meant to have this skylight inside the kids' space, but as we were trying to maximize our solars on the top, we ended up having to get it moved into this main area, which has actually created a whole lot more light in this space, which has been a really positive thing for us. We also have the three-way fridge. When we're off-grid, it runs on gas. In a future build, we would probably go with a compressor fridge, just because we find that when it is running on gas, it's often not as cold as what it could be. And if you come through this space here, the kids have got a privacy screen here, which just comes across. And also, the kids store their clothes in this cupboard here. And then this cheeky little drawer has been great because we store all of our dirty clothes and things like that, laundry in here. We decided to get the washing machine. I actually didn't have this included when we originally started the build, and thankfully I was able to ring up and make a few changes. This has been an excellent addition to our family. It certainly beats having to wait at the laundromats, and I can just pop on a load of washing using our inverter before we leave a location. So the kids have got a little bit of storage at the back of their bunks. They've got their books and things like that, and any traveling family would probably agree that you think that the kids are going to need a whole lot of toys and different things to keep them entertained, but smaller amount then just gets them outside and they have a whole lot of fun out there. If you just come through here, this is our bathroom, as I said before about the black finishes, and then also in the shower. We feel like there's enough space in here, and it's been working really well. Something that I have thought was a really great addition was these Fusion-Loc little holders here. So this holds all of our towels, and you can get those from Bunnings, and they haven't fallen off yet, which has been really great.
So one of the other things that we did add during the build was the SatKing Pro. So we have a full satellite TV system, controlled in here, obviously mounts to the roof up on the top. I think there's been one spot in Australia where we haven't been able to watch telly. We're not huge telly fans, but I am a mad sports fan. So I love my NRL, cricket, anything to do with sports really. So I've been able to watch the NRL the whole season, and obviously now footy's finished and cricket's in, so happy days. The other thing that we did add was the 2 Sirocco fans. So I think it came standard with one. We asked for a second one in there, and they've been great to sort of push airflow through the van when it's a little bit hot and sort of get the hot air out. And then also they're fully adjustable, so they're on our beds. So there's 2 there, and then there's 2 back in the kids' bunks. They've both got 1 each. And then lastly, the other thing that we added, and we actually added it after the build. I would have done it in the build. It was just something that we missed, was the inverter and a 200 amp hour lithium battery setup. So that runs our coffee machine when we're off grid, the microwave, the washing machine as well, that's included in that. So everything sort of runs off that inverter when we're off grid. Okay, van externals. So we got to pick the colours on the outside. Black and white always look sharp, so that was sort of high on the priority list. We ended up going with the clad on the sides and then composite front and back. Obviously composite are a little bit heavier, so we just thought to try and save on a little bit of weight. We wanted as much payload as possible, and we also preferred the look of the clad. So composite front and rear, clad on the sides. As a side note, how's this weather? We have avoided rain for the last 10 months, come to the East Coast, and here it is, lots of rain. Anyway, come up front. On the front of the van, we opted for the toolbox on the front. We carry our gas bottles in this one, and then our generator in the other one. Also, we went the extended A-frame just to give a little bit more clearance when reversing into tight corners or when taking the van through tight areas. We've got a little bit extra there. Front tunnel boot, we've got our Weber stored in there. Just our old Weber from home, we brought that one with us. I installed that slide out door, so that just slides out. I did have to cut the legs down on the Weber. It just sat that little bit too high, so I've just trimmed the legs down and it fits and slides in and out beautifully. Everything's pretty much standard on the outside. We did, actually I think it came standard in the Xpedition, but just an outdoor TV bracket so we can bring the telly from inside, outside, and we can watch the footy out here. Around the back of the van, we went with a full 4 bike rack. We had ditched 2 of our bikes. Kylie and I both brought our bikes with us and found that we just weren't using them, and they do crop a fair bit of dust and debris sitting up on the back up here. So we took our 2 bikes off, took the extension piece off with wedge housing for 2 bikes, and we left them up in Darwin. We'll pick them up at a later date. We've also got the Mangrove Track boat trailer. We did start off with a different brand boat trailer, which doesn't fold up anywhere near as neat as this. The advantage of this one is it's obviously only 38 kilos, which is great. You're always trying to save weight when you're traveling full time. And then just the ease that it goes together. It's all in split pins, no tools needed. You can just pull it all out, pop the pins in, and you're away. External, we've got another storage hatch here. I just keep all the hoses and the chocks and ramps and connections and stuff there. If I had my time again, I would put our water filler points up the front on the A-frame. I'd ask for either a second one or to relocate that one and bring it to the back. Most of the time you'll find the water and power points is on your rear right hand side. So it just makes it a whole lot easier. Shorter hose, you can just snap it in and you're away. One other addition, obviously it's a full off-road van, so the idea is to use it off-road and you get off-grid. We love being off-grid and out in remote places, so we added a second water tank. So we've got 3 95 litre water tanks in there and the grey water tank at the back there. On the other side, it's just the opposite to the other side. So we've just got another storage hatch there, full tunnel boot, full width. It's rather large, so we can heat the gear in there. I've got the electric motor for the tinny and our anti-flap kit and all that sort of stuff stored in that one. So that's pretty much the externals of the van. You know, we love it. We're very happy with it. After sales service is great, and it looks fantastic. All right. Definitely the best part of our setup is our car. So 2020 VX Land Cruiser Chop 200, built by Pro Touring Concepts. So basically, I may get this wrong, but Pro Touring are a builder and they get all the suppliers to come together and build these touring rigs for their clientele. So there's plenty of work done. I won't get into all of it, but the biggest thing with this car is its GVM. So we have a 4495 GVM on the car, which is huge. The stock ones come with about 3380 or 85, I think. So we've got plenty of payload in this one. It's got basically everything we need for touring. So it's got the fridge, it's got an 80 litre water tank, twin compressors, the whole shebang, really. Super easy for us touring and living off-grid in particular. We have got a 200 amp hour lithium battery in there, an inverter, solar, inputs for power and everything. We've obviously got the 130 litre upright fridge, which is been phenomenal. Everything's sort of really easy to use, quality build. Sliders are really easy. We've got a workbench here where we set up and prep a lot of our meals. We've got the second one here, so there's plenty of space to do your cooking and stuff. We do like to dabble in a few cocktails every now and then, so obviously we've got the inverter in there, run the blender, plenty of bench space to make up the cocktails for the whole crew. On the back of the car, I won't go through everything. Like I said, there's probably too much to show you in a short amount of time. But obviously up the top we've got the tinny up there. So that's on an Almac boat loader. Relatively simple to get up and down. It winches up and down on a remote control. Basically just drops that straight back down, and then we can put a collapsible trailer underneath it, throw the outboard on, and we're out there exploring. So, I mean, yes, it's a big sort of piece to the puzzle for us, but the advantage far outweighs leaving the tinny at home. We already had the tinny, so we thought, why not bring it with us? And obviously being able to go and explore places like the Ningaloo coast and the Coral Coast and all that sort of stuff has just been unreal. Full length trundle drawer in here. I just keep all my tools and dirty sort of stuff in there. I won't open that one. Rear winch. And then obviously the DO45 coupling for our van. Our van is heavy. We did ask for a maximum payload. I think the van's got a payload of around 3.6, and we've got a towing capacity at full GVM of 4495 on this car of 3.7 tonnes. So it takes our van easily, and it just ensures that we're fully covered if something should happen. Our insurance, there's going to be no issues there. We're well under our weights. On this side we have the outboard here. Again, that's on a slide that basically slides out, the motor drops down, and I can simply pick it up and pull it straight back onto the back of the tinny, and the boat's ready to go. More storage, huge door here where we just keep food and that when we're set up to go a long time off grid. We throw all our food in there. Obviously we've got some storage boxes in behind here as well. We store stuff that we don't use all the time. I've got my boat stuff here. We've got our wet bag for all our snorkeling and diving gear in there. These, not too sure why I bought these, don't get a lot of use, but they're here. And then obviously up the top we've got all our helmets, hats, and we've got some portable solar panels in there as well if we do need to top up. Up on the top also, the Almac boat loader gives you a full rack in there as well, so we can store stuff up there. I've got the fuel cell for the tinny up there, and then in the bottom of the boat we've also got strapped in our 2 swags. So we do use swags a bit. We do leave the van in some places and just get off in the swags, so that's perfect to have them up there. This is a stretched 200 chop, so there's a 750mm chassis extension. Obviously the wheelbase has been pushed out, so it is quite a big car, but that does allow us to get a full-size canopy on the back, and obviously the canopy is the game changer in this chop. So the more storage you can get in there, the better. We also have I think it's the 276 litre long-range fuel tank, which is great. So it is expensive to fill up obviously when we're filling up, but we can obviously go longer distances and try and beat those expensive fuel places out in remote areas. All storage through here, and the toolbox on the back. On the other side we've got the twin compressors to put the tyres up and do all that sort of stuff. One of the really cool things which everyone seems to talk about on this car is the Clearview side steps. So they're just fully automatic, go up and down. I was a little bit worried about them taking it serious four-wheel driving, just with rock climbing and sort of stuff, but they've popped a few knocks so far and they're still going strong. Clearview, next gen mirrors, auto fold, blind spot monitoring and all that sort of stuff. This is actually a Fats Fabrications stainless steel snorkel, just with the normal airhead on the top there. And then under the bonnet there's plenty of engine work that's been done in there, obviously to get it running at its optimum. And we sit on about 21.5 litres per 100 towing the full setup, so that's about 8 to 8.2 tonne, and we're on about 21 litres per 100, which we think is bloody good. Alright, that's about it from us, guys.
Thanks to Big Lap Bible for having us. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit us up on Instagram, Worthy Wanderers.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Stay dry.